Hi, it's Larry. Welcome back. So, to think that I traded a 1998 Mercedes SL 600, the best year of that car's run, for a BMW 650i, 2007 BMW 650i, it makes me feel like I'm bonkers. I'm crazy. I'm insane. See, I've always been a bit of a BMW loyalist, and so, I dipped over to Mercedes for a while, and for the life of me, I don't understand why I would trade any Mercedes high-end model for a BMW high-end model, because for those of you that understand, in the mid 2000s, late 2000s, BMW didn't exactly have the best years. Extremely unreliable, ridiculous engineering. I mean, beautiful cars to drive. They were starting to lose that ultimate driving machine feel at that particular time. But boy, this was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. Now listen, that's not to say that the 650i didn't have its pleasant, fantastic, wonderful characteristics, which I will cover. But I want this to be a bit of a short take because I'm having a little bit trouble uploading some of my video of the actual car. So I'm gonna post some pictures here and talk you through some of this bit of a quasi review. But suffice it to say, I have never regretted such a transaction as I did getting rid of my SL 600 convertible roadster V12, 400 horsepower, 400 torque, essentially, just around the numbers. And really I guess what I wanted to do is I just wanted to upgrade to a little bit more of a modern car and go back into a BMW and essentially, have the Bluetooth, have these type of features that the SL 600 didn't have, even though the cute feature of the SL 600 actually had a built-in cell phone on the dash, which was kind of cool. But you couldn't use it, of course. But let's put it, I always thought, like, I had a 335i Cabriolet years prior. I think it was, no, it wasn't years prior. Yeah, no, it was. It was 2006. See, I got the 650i in 2015 or something like that. I had the 335i way back in 2009, 2010, and it was a 6-speed manual Cabriolet with the hardtop, retractable hardtop. Incredibly good car, and in fact, I wouldn't mind having that back. However, that car gave me a lot of problems as well, and I'm going to cover that on a different video. 650i, so I thought, it's really moving up to the higher echelons of the BMW lineup. And sorry for my eye strain because I'm looking down here at some of the pictures I'm going to talk you through. I mean, first of all, it's a beautiful car. I had black on tan interior. As you've seen the pictures here, from the first three-quarter view, the front view, the rear view. I beefed up the tires to 295 series in the rear, so it looked really cool. And it was really just an absolute pleasure to drive when it was working. And I even went so far as to show it at car shows. I've done so much to this car to maintain it, to make it beautiful, to upgrade it all the time with brand new parts and accessories and so on and so forth. The interior was always detailed. I mean, I baby all my cars. And then I saw this warning light, the little battery symbol in the center of the cluster, the gauge cluster. And I thought, what's that? Maybe the battery needs to be replaced. But very quickly, things started to go downhill. And the error, I just couldn't get rid of it. I was kind of playing with the iDrive and couldn't get rid of it. And finally, I saw this on my screen, the warning, battery is not being recharged. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. That's a weird warning. I didn't really know what that meant. In hindsight, I can tell you all that it meant that the alternator was going. I had the exact same problem on a 550i 6-speed manual, Alpine White, which crashed, unfortunately. But it was one of the very rare 6-speed manual 550i's in Canada. And I had the exact same problem with that car. And it had the same engine, the 4.8 liter V8, pounding out 360 horsepower, 360 pound-foot torque, and pretty much the same drivetrain as the 550i. The 650i here was an automatic, but the 550i was a standard. Save the manuals, right? So this car left me stranded. As you can see, I had to put it on a tow truck and have it towed to a mechanic where it was looked at, and yeah, had to go through the whole alternator repair, get a new battery. The person who replaced it was Auto West BMW. God love their hearts. They didn't program the battery properly, so the car left me stranded again. Had to get it towed back to Auto West. They said, oh, you have to program the battery. Like, program a battery? You know, you just think about that. The engineering of these BMWs is so ridiculous. Redundant system, programmable batteries, etc. So I had to go back there, and then I don't know, a few weeks later, I had a couple of people in from South America, a couple of girls, and I said, you know, I thought I'd take them to Joffrey Lake, go for a nice hike. Drove up to Whistler. It was spectacular, beautiful moods. And then at the end of the night, driving back in Squamish, the car left me stranded again. And there was no one to call. Of course, I had all the insurance that would rescue under normal circumstances, but everything was closed. It was a Sunday night, and I got stranded in Squamish, no place to sleep, nowhere to go. So I had to have it towed all the way back into Vancouver, and the four of us, plus the tow truck driver's dog, all sat in the front seat on this big bench seat in this big truck. I paid $700 to have the car towed back into my mechanic. And it was an electrical problem related to the alternator and the battery installation that Auto West did. You know, even a BMW dealer couldn't get it right, which was just painstaking. So I went to an aftermarket guy, as you can see in this picture. I had everything redone because he basically, I called, you know, I have a cell phone number. He said, just tow it to my shop. I'll get everything sorted out for you. So that's what you see in the picture there. And what do? You get her all fixed up again, and you go drive it. You know, you put the roof down, you're driving around Vancouver. It's a beautiful city, beautiful car. When it's working well, it's amazing. But man, to have that Mercedes SL 600 back instead of that 650i, which I ended up selling with great prejudice. It was smoking. I mean, there was just problem after problem after problem. The thing had about 150 kilometers on it, 150,000 kilometers by the time I got rid of it. It was just a sickening car at that point. And, you know, I don't mean to go like super negative on the car. It is a beast of a machine. It's beautiful, it's smooth. It's an amazing GT car, handles nicely, drives beautifully, stereo is awesome. But what an unreliable piece of garbage in many respects. The car just kept on failing one thing after another. I also had a 750iL in the same generation, and a 550i, and all of them had similar problems. They all had these mechanical problems, electrical problems. I got left stranded on the 550i. I'll do a different video on this. This one got very long. It's almost 8.5 minutes. So I'll let it go with there. It's just a quick take on a 650i. And once I get my hard drive cleaned up, I will post some videos of the 650i in action. Because if you follow me on my channel, you know I take a lot of pictures and videos of cars. This BMW 650i was my 13th BMW, and probably the worst one that I ever had. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Move forward.